Hey, you know how long I've been waiting for this? Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself here because No Cooldown is back, baby. Episode 101. We are here. We standing tall, baby. We back in the building. Hope everybody's been doing well. It is, you know what I'm saying? The man with the cards. Well, I don't really got cards in my shit. I got Uno in the other room. But anyways, it's that man Tripp. Hope everybody's been doing well. Welcome back to No Cooldown Podcast. It's time for another week of games, bro. It's time for another week of beautiful discussions and breakdowns about what we've been seeing in the gaming world, the gaming landscape. And of course, I am here with my slightly suds afflicted podcast partner in crime, Mr. Wen Easy. How's you doing, dog?
I'm chilling, man. Well, I have a COVID, so I'm not super chilling, but it could be worse. I could be dead.
Fairs. Listen, man, we're glad you're here. We're glad, you know what I'm saying, you're hanging in there. And if y'all want to help us hang in there and thrive and be more than healthy, make sure you rate the podcast 5 stars. Make sure you go check out all of our content and all of our channels everywhere at No Cooldown, except for I think Twitter. Or No Cooldown Pod still. I'm sorry, guys. It's been busy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I will change it at some point. I promise. But until then, it is No Cooldown Pod on Twitter and No Cooldown Podcast everywhere else. And YouTube, No Cooldown. Just at No Cooldown. Thank goodness we stole that. But yeah, we're outside of that, man. Make sure you go check out all the content, all the clips, shorts, all exclusive content, one-offs that we got going on over there. Check us all out. We got a lot of news to cover. There's been a lot of stuff since we've been out, since I was out on a nice, friendly, and educational vacation. But we're back now covering some shit. We got a lot to do, a lot to get in. So, without further ado, is you ready?
Born ready.
Hey, man, let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it. In our opening story, our first main story, we have had a miracle happen, folks. An absolute miracle that happened over the past day or so as of this recording. Tango Gameworks has been acquired and revived. Krafton Inc., who is the publisher of games like PUBG, they have picked up Tango Gameworks. They have revived the entire studio. They have reinstated the entire workforce that was let go. So as Microsoft let them all go and it looked like it was dead in the dirt, they have been brought back, and there are plans to expand the Hi-Fi Rush franchise. There's plans to expand that IP. There's plans to work more and more with Tango on the stuff that they have planning. But Tango's back, man. Tango's back. How did you feel when you received this news?
I thought this was pretty cool because it was just like a company taking a chance on another company. And honestly, I think that might start becoming like, I don't want to say the norm, but I could see it happening again. Like a company that does like games that it's making a boatload of money on a random obscure mobile game. And not saying PUBG is random or obscure, but like I believe like that's that company's mainstay is PUBG. Like, hey, we're making a bunch of money. Let's go pick up this company that's doing something different, and let's see how this goes. I hope that becomes the norm, so that certain companies, so that certain places don't get shut down. But I know that there's not that many companies like whatchamacallit, Krafton, I think is the name.
Yeah, Krafton the publisher, yeah.
Yeah. Like I know there's not that many publishers that have like, oh, we have one game that's making us all our money. Let's start diversifying. You know, there's only so many people. There's only so many. I guess sponsorships is really what it feels like. Because it feels like Krafton is being like, I'm gonna sponsor this Tango Works. I'm gonna see what you guys can do for me, as opposed to them just being like, yo, we're out of a job. We're cooked.
Yeah.
I love to see it. Hopefully, Tango can continue to make sick games. Hi-Fi Rush is still an amazing title. I'm excited to see what happens, but it sucks that like knowing that this is not going to be normalized because there's just not that many other people. There's not that many people in the gaming space that have surplus money to pick up more studios. You know, like the people who already have that money have already done so. Like Xbox, PlayStation, like those people have already done what they've already made their choices on who they're picking up. So like it kind of feels like a draft, and this is like a last minute pickup.
Yeah, 100%. This is like, yeah, them late calls. Like you might have missed the draft, but they picked you up on, like, you know what I'm saying, out of free agency and stuff. They rang you. But this is fantastic, bruh. This is fantastic. I'm happy. I saw this news literally like 6 minutes after it dropped. I was like, bro, I am so happy. We had a conversation last week or last podcast just about the or maybe actually the one before that, episode 99 with Jewel, just talking about kind of like the creativity in the gaming space and reasons why Tango might have closed. And it was really kind of a sad conversation because we kind of came to that conclusion of creativity should be rewarded. And again, I will stand on this every single time I hear their name. Tango is one of the most creatively rich and creatively flexible studios in gaming history. Not many people can do what they did and have that much critical success and quality to the projects that they put out. And I'll stand on that to the day I die. They're up there with some of the most flexible people. They could, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, people be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh, like this person could do this, but they couldn't do that, or blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? When comparing people, this is a studio that I would fully trust with like something that's completely out of their range or zone, and be like, oh, can you work with this? Probably. They would have the highest propensity out of many game studios to make a hit out of something that they've never even worked with before, in my opinion. So to see them get another crack at just creating things, and also getting more Hi-Fi Rush, which is again critically acclaimed series. Everybody was loving it off of the surprise drop. Again, sales might not have been indicative of the greatest thing because of the surprise drop, but it was beloved as soon as it touched down, and we weren't going to get a chance to see any more of that. And I didn't want to put this in the what's the name? Oh my gosh. Do you remember that game that dropped in 2015 from Insomniac? Sunset Overdrive. Thank you. I did not want to put this in the Sunset Overdrive category of a fantastic game that just didn't get the run that it deserved at a certain point because people loved it. Either they came back to it or they just didn't know about it at first. I didn't want this game and this IP and the studio to suffer the same fate as Sunset Overdrive and kind of get left out and obscured. I know it was a little bit different how it panned out in terms of the studio shutting down, but you know what I mean. I didn't want them to be forgotten. I didn't want them to get left out and not nurtured. So this is fantastic. And again, Krafton, they got a lot of bag. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of bag with PUBG. They're chilling. So I'm hoping that we get a lot of really, really, really good runway with them. They get the time that they need, and Tango just gets a full shot at putting out the best stuff that they can with Hi-Fi Rush, and hopefully that can expand into more IPs. I know, again, Krafton definitely acquired the Hi-Fi Rush IP from Microsoft. That was the biggest thing, but I'm not sure if they acquired anything else that Tango had worked on previously. I'm not sure if Ghostwire Tokyo is with Tango. I don't know if The Evil Within is with Tango. I'm not sure, but hopefully either they get those IPs back or they have the runway after Hi-Fi Rush, whatever, a sequel or blah, blah, blah. They can branch out and keep doing what they do and create new series, create new interesting games that we can all enjoy. So, I'm excited. I'm happy about that. And what a kick in the balls to Xbox. I ain't gonna lie. This is low-key a kick in the balls. How like everybody's rejoicing. And I swear, half of the tweets I was seeing about Tango coming back, they were like, oh, obligatory fuck you, Xbox. Like that's like, you gotta kind of shrug your shoulders like, bro, like, you shouldn't have did it in the first place, but now it's here. If they go dummy and make an absolute banger sequel or a banger extension to a Hi-Fi Rush, you gotta feel like Matt Booty's gotta look like he's gotta feel like a little bit like, damn, I probably shouldn't have did that.
Matt Booty's gonna look like booty.
And like straight ass, bro. He probably didn't want to do it, bro. He gonna look wild. Him and Phil Spencer, they're gonna look befuddled. Like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have dropped those guys, something like that. They're looking crazy. But
don't expect that sequel to be on Game Pass neither. Unless they're coming off a pretty penny. Don't expect that sequel to be on Game Pass.
If they on Xbox in general, I seen a bunch of reports about like stuff like people games and stuff like that from the East not coming. I know there's a whole bunch like hearsay and stuff. A Phantom Blade Zero article got misconstrued from one of the devs and stuff, but they were like, "Yo, we don't need Xbox." I don't think that was true, but the conversation around it was funny as shit because honestly, a lot of companies are it's not as easy integrating the PlayStation as it is Xbox in certain regards. Like, the whole Capcom situation, people are trying to port their stuff that I think it was Intoria or something like that last time, or maybe another Souls like had trouble porting their stuff to Xbox or getting their stuff on Xbox. That's why it's a little bit delayed. There's like those little things there, but I'm just saying if a big IP that has high potential like Hi-Fi Rush does well, Xbox, you got like that's an ultimate shot to the foot because like, bro, we talk about this all the time. Xbox needs hard-hitting, great first-party games, and you just let one close after a crazy debut for an IP, and they come back and bite your ass. Like you can do nothing but hold your hands up. But I don't want to focus on that too much. But I just want to say again, Tango, welcome back. We missed you, and cook, man, cook. Let's talk about Bungie. Man, oh man, Bungie has lost their gamble. So we learned again a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it's a bit of an older story, but Bungie's basically had a huge layoff, a pretty significant layoff. A whole bunch of changes that were happening to the just the company at large. And as far as we know, we got about 220 people laid off. I got 155 people that are moving over to Sony. A brand new studio and one of their incubation projects are being kind of taken off of their hands and moved to a new Sony studio. And as of now, Herman Host from PlayStation runs or is going to run Bungie. The autonomy that they had when they first brokered this deal and first struck this deal it's gone, or it's going to leave very, very soon. I feel like there's been a lot of controversy and back and forth between Bungie whether they can sustain their position as a premier multiplayer studio, as a premier studio for live service. And I feel like because of their I'd say misfires with content over the past few years, especially with Lightfall and how people didn't take to that, this kind of caused this kind of just the end of their autonomy. Basically, like what they tried to shoot for, it just didn't happen. They failed, and now they're getting absorbed into Sony. At some point, it looks like it's very, very, very likely all the freedom that they had is going to be stripped off their hands. And on top of that, it just looks like the trust just is waning rapidly, because apparently there was like some reports about misleading Sony about their financial position ahead of them being acquired. Like they were trying to oversell themselves and overextend themselves, and they couldn't deliver on some of those promises and valuations. So it's wild. But Bungie is they getting the chains put on them, man. How you feel about this win?
About damn time. Honestly, again, I say this. I have such a special part of my heart for Destiny. I really loved what it was. I loved what I thought it was. I guess like that's what I want to say. I really enjoyed my time on Destiny 1. Destiny 2 was good, but at the end of the day, everybody could agree with me when like if you played Destiny 1 on release, you felt like it was empty. Then DLC came out and you still felt like it was kind of like half a game. Like it didn't feel full. It didn't really feel like there was enough to do. And then I felt the opposite when I was playing Destiny 2, where I felt like there was a lot to do, but it felt um very overwhelming. But I loved Destiny 2 more than 1 because I remember sitting in a group chat and being like, yo, Destiny feels like Activision took out 60% of the game and put it behind a paywall or something like that, right? And
Mhm.
it turns out it might not even have been Activision's fault. And honestly, I think it's just a bunch of bad actors on the inside blaming, like it was just a bunch of like blaming people. And I think there is not enough transparency. And I don't mean transparency for the players. I mean like I think them boys in Bungie were lying on each other. Like, oh no, it's Activision's fault. That's why the game isn't good. All right, we
Mhm.
left Activision. Oh, actually, we need some money now because we don't have Activision. So please buy our microtransactions. All right, cool. We're gonna support you. We're gonna do what we can. All right, cool. We're now an established IP. We just got bought by PlayStation, but every DLC is still gonna cost you. The dungeons are still gonna be separate. Like, it was. I wouldn't even call it like an a la carte type of game. It literally was like, yo, anything you want to do has a price tag. It
Mhm.
wasn't free to play at all. That was like a lie. You can play parts of it for free, sure, but that game is without a shadow of a doubt like a money pit for me. And I remember
Yeah.
I sat down and calculated how much I needed to spend to catch up on all the things I missed in Destiny as a fan of like 1, and I played 2 a little bit. I think I played Beyond. I played like not the ice one, the Shadow Keep was when I came back, and
Mhm.
then I stopped. Going from Beyond to Lightfall, I spent like $100 on the game.
Yeah.
And even then, they started sunsetting shit. So the shit that I paid for was gone. And I was like, what is this game? Like, what do you guys? It feels like you guys are just trying to squeeze out as much money as possible. It didn't feel like an organic game. Like, it didn't feel like a game for the consumer, truly. I'm happy that Bungie's not looking the best right now because I think that we need to stop. We need to take off the rose-colored glasses. We need to really hold their feet to the fire because as much as I love Cade and the cool story and the awesome guns and the cool environment, I truly, truly, truly think this game will not ever get better unless we start as a like a Destiny community being like, yo,
Mm.
give me back my fucking money, bro. Like, I'm not giving you no more fucking money. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. place, and that's the thing is like I hate acquisitions. Really, like I really do wish some game companies didn't need to survive by getting acquired by bigger companies. But Bungie, I don't think you're allowed to be on the wheel anymore, man. I don't think you're allowed to drive this car. I think you need to get out the car, get in the back seat, let Sony drive it for a little bit. Because like, and that's the thing, like with Sony acquisitions, usually like the people are doing great, and then Sony just gives them money. Like Insomniac is like, yo, we're cooking, bro. And they're like, yeah, you fucking are. Here's some bread, bro. I'm gonna put some more gas in the tank. Sony's like, nah, pull over. Pull the fuck over. We cannot do this right now. There's no way you've been running Destiny like this shit into the ground. And now you're talking about, and you're lying to me? The man with the money, you're lying to me? Yeah, Bungie, you're cooked. Fuck you. That's what I have to say.
Yep. No, I hear it. I hear it, bro. It's just, it's wild, bro. Because again, I feel like there's such a disconnect sometimes with how they were trying to run things. And again, we know the story with like, you know, kind of their CEO between the workers and how he was flawing things and trying to push certain stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like Flash as well for people who are struggling in the offices and so many things, and the monetization getting really, really, really bad. I mean, it already wasn't good under Activision's like, you know, helm, but even then, you know what I'm saying, when they went on their own, struck out, I feel like it was like, you know, it kind of got worse. It kind of really, really, really kind of took a turn for the worse or the more intensive. So it's tough. It's a tough situation. And I don't want to sit here and say, oh, I'm a Destiny hater or I'm a Bungie hater. I'm not. Bungie made fucking Halo. And again, as much as when does not like or does not care for Halo, I will always give them credit in the bank for Halo. But the
does not care is the one that I would choose.
Hey, listen, hey man, whatever.
I don't hate it. I have no hate for it.
Whatever floats your boat, Frank. Whatever floats your boat. You know what I mean? But the fact that this studio has basically, you know, I will always advocate for people betting on themselves in a certain way. But when the practices of you doing that and the practices of you, you know what I'm saying, trying to sustain yourself as a service becomes so, and not necessarily predatory, but it just wasn't on, bro. Again, from the first Destiny, I was out from the Moon DLC. From that first one, we had to get the paywalls and stuff, and I saw they were like cutting content on the disc. I was like, bro, I'm good. And I stopped playing Destiny right there that second, and I never came back. And I'm glad, because I would have been in that hellish hole from Destiny to Destiny 2 all the way up. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I remember beating 1 and being like, that's it. And I think everybody who's played Destiny 1 has said, that's it at the end of the fucking game. Nobody sat there and was like, wow, that was awesome. Everybody was like, that might have been the first time I realized the pains of modern gaming. That right there might have been the first time I sat down and was like, wow, I feel like I got gypped for full price.
Bro, like literally, I agree. I think that's definitely one of the first big instances of just like, yo, this shit is so ass. I definitely like Gears of War Judgment's MTX was ass. I remember that being like, yo, I'm not paying that extra for this. I had to fucking barter my life away, almost sell my foot to get some Microsoft points. What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? I'm not doing that extra shit. There's that. What's it called? And I would say Destiny, honestly, running into Destiny and realizing, yo, there's a bunch of locked content and you have to get the Moon DLC to kind of progress in a certain way. That's ass. That's ass. And I want nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with it, bro. But again, back to them. I will always advocate for a company and an entity betting on themselves. If you can sustain autonomy, absolutely go for it. I would love more independent bodies of studios, companies trying to just chip in and put their quality into the world. I will always do that. But when your practices are kind of off, and then you go into this deal with Sony to get more capital, and you overvalue yourself by billions of dollars, apparently, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how much truth it is, take it with a grain of salt. But if you're overvaluing your services, like that's a problem, and you can't deliver on it. That's a problem. So the fact that they kind of ran into this was the heaviest. I just feel sad for the people who are working on it, but them as executives, they need that reality check. They need that reality check of, bro, you can't just run how you run and expect us to give you free money when you're not delivering, and you haven't been delivering at the level that you can for several years. You know, I don't know how the last DLC went, but again, the Lightfall thing was the biggest. It seems like the biggest kind of like breaking off point.
Did Final Shape even drop? I don't even remember that shit dropping, because I don't think anybody bought that shit.
It was July, right? Yeah, it dropped July. People liked it. People liked the send off. It was last month. Yeah, people like the send off.
I follow many Destiny people, not big people, not like huge content creators, but I follow friends of mine who play Destiny. I didn't hear shit about Final Shape, and I'm not saying that that's like the litmus test is when's fucking timeline.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that like I felt like a lot of people were not. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not gonna speculate. I'm just gonna say I didn't hear shit about that, and that shit dropped in June and it's August. I don't think that Destiny. If this had been Destiny back in the day, I wouldn't hear. Videos would be all over my timeline. I would hear all the shit about it. But like, I know a lot of friends of mine who were huge fans who just like fizzled out, man. And I'm a part of that. Like, I would love to go back, but I just don't see the purpose. Because when I went back for Lightfall, it was just fucking. I just didn't feel like I got my money's worth at all. Yeah. And every time I found some new cool shit, they were like, "Oh, you got to pay for that too." Like, what? Like, we're paying for dungeons. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I understand, bro. I understand. It's serious. It's serious shit, bro. Like the stuff you enjoyed for so long, just like the experiences get so rotten. They bit off more than they could chew. Point blank, they bit off more than they could chew, and now they're unfortunately paying the price. And it's just down to the people. It honestly, again, mainly trickles down to the people who put in blood, sweat, and tears the most. The people who are developing these games, which I feel sorry for. But then everybody else, again, all the decision makers and stuff who are just like flip flopping and kind of going over their bounds and pushing some of these not pro-consumer kind of choices in their monetization strategy and how they deliver content. That's tough. And again, Lightfall was the flop, and that kind of put everything else back. It set everything back a little bit. And I think they just, again, they said it themselves. They kind of ran into the red and trying to kind of give themselves the time and space to recover from that. And wasn't enough, man. Wasn't enough. So it's just like, I feel like Bungie's executive leadership and just their team is already kind of in hot water with PlayStation over the choice that they made, the overvaluation, the Last of Us stuff, which we'll talk later, and their involvement, because I'm pretty sure Bungie was talking to them about the Last of Us online testing and factions multiplayer, that testing stuff, and that apparently could have been an extra problem that added into the pot. But point blank, they bit off more than they can chew, and now they're getting folded back. And again, for the people that are, for the executives that are still there, for the direction of the company, it may serve them well to kind of have that reign back, because we know Sony is very, very, very stern and desperate on having a multiplayer experience that is top of the line and can compete with the highest levels. Since they don't necessarily trust Call of Duty anymore. Now that it could flop and go away, it could flip flop and go away from their services or go away from priority any day now with Xbox. They need multiplayer. They want multiplayer so bad. And I think this was kind of part of the bargain that they knew, like, we don't fully trust you guys, but we're going to give you time to work. And if you can do it, cool. But if not, we're taking the reins. We're folding you down. We're moving these projects in. Again, they have Marathon on the way. Destiny 2 is getting, ridden out. Destiny 3, I don't even think Destiny 3 is happening. I don't think that's happening anymore. I think that's moved to the side. There's probably nothing more that's going to happen for that. I know there was a big TikTok. One of our best TikToks that we did was talking about what do we want to see in Destiny 3, and I think the first thing you said when was I don't want Destiny 3. Well, you might have your wish. You might have your wish at this point, bruh, because it's looking over, bruh. It's over. I'm sorry, Destiny. I'm sorry, Bungie, but overstepped.
I looked up the Final Shape on Steam because I literally haven't seen this at all, and it's funny because it got mixed reviews, and I was like, oh, okay. One of the mixed reviews. A lot of people are saying it's quite literally one of the best DLCs. But everybody who's downvoting it is like, it's because Pete Parson. They're like, yo, fuck their greedy ass CEO. Like, somebody was like, I bought the Ultimate Edition so that Pete could afford more exotic cars.
Hey, man.
Hey, shout outs to y'all, man. This shit is hilarious. So, okay. So it was a good DLC. Everybody's just super...
it was a good send off, but the CEO again, it just lines his pockets, and he was going around in the studio boasting to everybody in the elevator, like, "Yo, man, my new cars, bro, these are crazy." But they said, "How long y'all working? 80 hours a week? What? I didn't know we could do that." But the cars, though, they're banging. They're banging.
The cars, bro.
Like,
all the motherfucker. I'm not gonna say it because we're recording. So yeah, I'll say that shit off stream. But yeah, I hope his drives are nice and long. I hope he gets mad mileage out the bitches.
It's Oh man, it's crazy, bro. But yeah, Bungie, you know, you had your run out, you had your chance, but it's time for the reality check at this point. All right, we can slide into the short, quick bites. We can talk about a few stories that popped up across our feeds in a quicker succession. First and foremost, we did want to take some time out and say, rest in peace, Game Informer. Rest
Oh
in
my
peace, bro.
god, bro.
This pissed me off so much.
Oh,
I was literally on vacation when I saw this shit happen, and I was like, bro, I'm honestly heartbroken, bro. They shut down the entire site. Like, you can't see anything. You just have the ending page that was like have chat GPT messaging and shit like that. And all the people got laid off immediately. All the staff got, you know what I'm saying, like just cut. It was done. It was just finished like in an instant, bro. And I think there was an attempt to try and like put the site back up for a full message, but that got shut down. We can't even access the old articles anymore, which is so ass. But yeah, rip Game Informer, man. One of the like cornerstones of gaming publications and gaming journalism ever. So yeah,
oh.
when how you feel?
Dog, I still to this day can think back to when I would be in fucking class, bored out of my mind in like seventh, eighth grade. And my boy, I never had Game Informers myself,
Mm,
but my friend always had Game Informers. And obviously, after like a month, motherfuckers isn't reading them shits anymore. It's old news. So I'd be like,
yeah,
let me get them bitches. Because I would love to just read through the articles, get the information. I always thought that was such a way, in my opinion, it was such a more wholesome moment of being like, yo,
absolutely.
like, hey, here's a book we made a magazine with all the gaming stories of the past month. Here, read it, catch up on some shit, find some new shit. Like, it was so cool because now you can only fit so much information in this book, so you got to pick and choose what's important or what's not important.
Hmm.
And instead of having like a stream of nonstop information about video games, you could actually let shit marinate, right? Like,
Facts.
hey, maybe I don't need to know about the fucking model decisions for GTA or what little implementations they're putting into it because there's an actual full game releasing this month. So let's
Hmm.
focus on that first. And that's what I really fucking miss is just not having to worry like I don't have to hear
Curation.
about every fucking fart that happens in video game. I get a TikTok of a dude in front of a little mic talking about it. And it's cool if you like all that information, but honestly, I hate finding out shit about games before they're not even close to being done.
Hmm.
And that's just me personally. So I used to love getting a Game Informer magazine, just reading the articles, seeing the cool screenshots. That was my shit. And now, we're in a different era now. Like now there's a dude on TikTok, I think I follow him. And I'm part of the problem. And like he's like, here's everything you missed. No, he does it weekly, which is
Yeah,
not as bad as daily, but like he'll be like, here's everything you missed in gaming in a week. And it's like 10 minutes of like nonstop
yeah.
news.
Stories.
Yeah, like, which is cool, but I'm like, damn, remember back in the day when we used to like, yo, here's a curation of shit. You don't have to know everything. There's
Hmm.
just so much information out there, man. I just miss
Facts,
those days of like,
bro.
I
Just
read this, now I'm gonna go live my life. There's other things to do. I'm gonna go watch a
like
movie.
X play was 30 minutes. I can go to the store, flip through Game Informer, and I'm cool. You know what I mean? And I'll
I'm
talk to my
good.
friends.
I'm gonna go talk to my friends about some other shit. Yo, what y'all watching Shaolin Showdown? Y'all seen the new
Yeah,
episode?
yes,
Like that's
sir.
that's
Yes,
that type of
sir.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just like nonstop. Everybody's got gaming takes, gaming news, gaming something, and I love gaming news, but I don't need every single opinion, every single because then you guys start getting people who don't
Mm,
have enough news. What do they start doing? They start talking about fucking leaks, and they start
yeah.
fucking digging into people's pockets to find USB drives so we can get a picture of what
Hmm.
fucking Arthur Morgan looks like in the second prequel of fucking Red Dead or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Hey,
Can we fucking relax?
I'm about to say you. That's the second time you mentioned farts, bro. You listen to Ice Spice album gang?
Hey,
Fuck you.
hey,
Fuck you.
hey, hey, hey. I'm at the deli and I'm
Ah,
feeling real jelly.
uh, bars.
Sign me.
Sign this man. Oh shit, that's crazy. Oh, but no. Like I agree, and again, this is also a shameless plug. Hey, new video is out. Finally, I posted a video on my personal channel. The leaking shit is ass, bro. It's so garbage. It's so garbage, and it's just there was a time where things just felt curated. You had 30 minutes of X play again. You had the little times you could chat and converse and do that. But again, just the fact that the access points were so cool at the time to gaming. You know, you had the shows, you had the publications and stuff, and Game Informer was a big part of it. Again, for me, You know, like again, my favorite cover was the Force Unleashed one. I know somebody else did that. I think it was Street. Shout out to Street Grind. We had a similar one that we kind of just talked about. But yeah, that one, just cool art, cool stories. I remember. I think there was one about Mass Effect 3, and like I remember that was like a big rage. I wasn't a Mass Effect fan at the time, but I remember seeing that cover and stuff, and just like being enamored with it. And it's such a lost art nowadays, but it was just so cool. Game Informer, I don't know if it was Game Informer, but it was somebody else. It might have been PlayStation Magazine or some shit like that. They had like the game demo discs and stuff, and I remember playing the very first Yakuza on one of those publications. But just that whole medium is such a lost art, and it reminds us how stuff was so curated and stuff was really really fun, and just it just felt burgeoning. Shit was just really really growing and only getting started, and I enjoyed a lot of what I consumed from Game Informer. I wish I could have collected a lot more of them or had the space or money to when I was younger, but you know, it is what it is. But still got all the love and respect in the world for it. And I just know that again, they're a piece of gaming that I don't think will really, really be forgotten. The whole format of how it was delivered, you know what I'm saying? People may not understand what magazines were in 30 years, but the Game Informer name will stand tall because of how much they contributed in terms of the art, the access, the packaging, the curation. And I enjoyed that a lot about, you know, what they brought. So I hope everybody who, you know, worked and had a hand in anything that had to do with Game Informer is well. Hope they can land on their feet if they work in there currently and it got folded. And yeah, who's their parent company? The same one that owned GameStop, whoever the fuck they are.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's the same people who own GaMstop.
Yeah,
I blame GameStop,
they can
but
hold nuts.
it's not GameStop. I think it's whoever's above them. But
Mm.
yeah, no, it's super unfortunate. Oh man, it's just like I just I just don't know, man. I just hate these fucking scumbag CEOs who would rather like fucking gut an entire part of their company than take a pay cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just no. If I'm a CEO, the only reason I would shut down and fire all of these people is if I am gonna be myself broke.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't, you know. But it's never that. It's never like, yo, I'm making a cool 200K. If I keep them on, I'm going to lose my entire salary because we're that down bad.
Yeah.
It's more like I'm making multiple $1 million a year and I'm making mad money off the stock market. If I don't shut this down, I may lose 1 mil. And I can't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the shit that be blowing me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, no heart, no heart, not even that. No dedication to business, man.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. Whoever decision this was. Like y'all not dedicated to this business shit. Because how you gonna cut up your own shit just to make more money for yourself? That sounds, man, whatever. I'm not gonna get into this.
Yeah,
I hate fucking cap. I hate corporate greed. It is literally gutting us. This whole field is gonna get destroyed because of just 7 or 8 dudes who just can't take a fucking pay cut.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, man. Death to corporate greed and long live Game Informer. But let's slide on here. Let's talk about Halloween and not the occasion, the series, the IP. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, the guys who worked on Evil Dead Boss Team Games, they're developing 2 brand new games based on Halloween, with one of them being developed in Unreal Engine 5. And of course, the creator, John Carpenter, he's going to be very, very involved in this. Of course, you know, there's what's it called? Friday the 13th. Thank you. Gosh, my mind. The Friday the 13th game, which is really, really important to, you know, kind of the asymmetrical slasher stuff that we've seen today, the Dead by Daylights and all that stuff. But I mean, and any thoughts on them coming back with 2 new Halloween games?
I hope one of them plays similar to Alien Isolation. I think that would be cool.
That would be heat. That's a really good idea, actually.
Like I wish more people. I don't think they have a patent on it. They're not Warner Brothers. So like I think that concept of like, here's a killer who is procedurally, he can understand your movements more.
That's
I think that would be dope.
That's hard, bro. Honestly, and again, I would not necessarily keep it Dead by Daylight, but like you could put it on like a linear, like again, a less less components in the game, less of a HUD.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? More, again,
Yeah.
more like Alien Isolation, where it's like a single player. You kind of go through the lanes, you got to go through these missions, and like you got to find these things. But he learns how you move, and he's starting to pop up in different places and get these people. If it could be like in a co-op setting, like a 3 or 4 people, that's a hard game. That's a hard game. I would enjoy that way more than a Dead by Daylight at this point in time. Not to say that the mode is ass, but it's just saturated, and I'm kind of tired of that subgenre of horror games and multiplayer stuff.
I would even say, like, because there's 2 games, I would think one of them where a co-op thing would be sick. I think one where it's just a story-based game, like
Yeah,
a cool,
absolutely.
at most an hour type vibe. Mostly because like I don't think we get enough of those, but I think what we have gotten a lot of has been co-op horror games, which it's a fun genre. But I think we could like let's branch out a little bit more because that's how you get cool shit like Alien Isolation. Like let's start taking a little bit more risk.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just like it's about time that we start, for horror franchises, you got to start doing something a little bit different. Honestly, why haven't we seen a game that's kind of like more on the rails, single player, like, you know, you're a survivor and you're against it, like a Outlast or something like that. Outlast with the Halloween thing, I think that would be kind of cool. Like just kind of giving a bit of a tighter environment, not like a factory or a mental institution or something like that, but like, you know, literally Camp Crystal Lake or some shit like that, like kind of making it a little bit more intimate to establish that vibe, like a single player on the rails thing or a co-op thing where there is an adaptive Michael AI or you know, NPC that is following you and picks up on your stuff and you know is out to get your ass. So I think that's hard.
Yeah.
They got some potential there, bro. They can switch it up. All right, real quick, because I saw this and I was like, yeah, that's your guy, bro. So I gotta run through it real quick, man. Again, as you know, well, you may not know, actually, we are, you know what I'm saying, wrestling fans to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? We like the wrestling and stuff. And the current WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, has listed his top 5 favorite video games of all time over the past few weeks. He stated 5, Ghost of Tsushima, 4, Halo Combat Evolved, 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, 2, Metal Gear Solid, and 1, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. When I know this is your favorite wrestler right now, this is your guy, so I had to put this in there just real quick to get you 2 cents, bro. How you feel about this listing? You know what I'm saying? You like it? You like, yeah, he's solid?
There's 2, so like low key the answer is a little political. And by that I don't mean like in the sense of like actually political. It's more like there's some safe options here. Nobody's gonna argue Metal Gear Solid. Nobody's gonna argue Ocarina of Time. Nobody's gonna argue those 2, right? Halo Combat Evolved, I think is a good choice.
Yeah, there's an argument to be had there, but that's also kind of
there's
like,
an argument to be had there, but nobody's really gonna like. I'm not gonna die on the hill of Halo not being up there because like it. I
don't think you can. That's a seminal work, low key.
For all I know, this might be his motherfucker. This might be been his first introduction into this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't argue with Halo Combat Evolved. I'm like, it's important. It's pinnacle. It is a staple. I like to draw everybody's attention to Red Dead Redemption 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. Interesting. I love Red Dead Redemption 2. I think that shit is probably. I would put it up there in my top 5. Ghost of Tsushima.
I absolutely would. I absolutely would. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm not saying it's a bad game.
If I really looked at it, if I really look up and down, I think Ghost of Tsushima will crack my top 15. It could potentially crack my top 10, potentially, because
it's a good game.
It's a fantastic. I don't think any of that game really missed.
5.
Top 5 is tough. Top 5 is tough. I ain't gonna lie. There's gotta be some real personal stuff with him too. But
that's what I'm saying.
I empathize because again, like Ghost of Tsushima was literally like my second game I ever streamed ever. I love the game so much. I didn't know I was gonna enjoy it that much. Like every piece of that game, I think hit. It was literally like a success after success. The multiplayer, the Icky Island update, all that stuff. So I have arguments to make about it, but I don't know if it's top 5 of all time. All time, I don't know. Of a generation, I will absolutely argue it could be a top 5.
Yeah.
Of a generation,
that could be easily in PS4, sure.
I can run that through with no problems. But yeah, all the time, this is probably personal. No, it's just personal stuff.
The only reason I brought attention to those 2 games, because I think those 2 games right there is the biggest like indicator of what Cody has been playing recently. Like like he may not have touched those. He may have touched Halo, Ocarina, or Metal Gear Solid in fucking years. He may not even have played those bitches. We don't even really know, because at the end of the day, who's really gonna check him on that? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, they got gamers in the roster, bro. You got something to DM to somebody like, hey, yo, double check them achievements.
No, like fucking. Oh my god, what's his name? Oh my god,
Xavier Woods.
Yeah, Xavier
Oh,
Woods.
yeah,
Like, yo,
Austin
Xavier
Creed.
Woods. Check him on that shit.
Yeah.
I think Ghost of Tsushima was actually his own personal pick. I think everything else, except for like Red Dead Redemption 2, might have also been like his like,
Yeah. That
I'm gonna
could.
sneak this shit in here. But like
Yeah.
he knew what he was doing when he put Ocarina of Time, Metal Gear Solid, and Halo on there.
Yeah.
Halo might also be a personal thing. Ocarina and Metal Gear Solid to me are like, you could throw them bitches out and nobody's gonna argue with you. It's like, hey, what's your favorite basketball player of all time? Michael Jordan or LeBron James? Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you. Like, this was like, Ghost of Tsushima was like Penny Hardaway. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're getting into. All right, I can't argue with that.
So he got a deep bag. He got a deep bag.
Nah, I fucked with this list because it's better than him just straight up lying to my face. Like, Ghost of Tsushima really was like, all right, you know ball, Mr. Rhodes. You are the people's champion. I myself need to finish the story of Ghost of Tsushima. You're right.
No, I hear. I feel like there was a podcast. I think it was a Stone Cold podcast, the Broken Skull Sessions, that he was talking. He was going back and forth about your favorite game, and I think Stone Cold was like saying, I think he was saying Twilight Princess or something.
No.
Oh, no, he said Breath of the Wild. He said Breath of the Wild. He said Breath of the Wild.
Stone Cold, what you know about Breath of the Wild, brother?
I was like, what? He said, what? He saying, hell, he giving niggas stunners in there? He giving Ganon stunners? Okay. This shit was fire, but no, it's a solid listing, bro. It's a solid listing, man. I hope at one day in the future we really get to sit down with a lot of WWE superstars and talk video games. Because again, that's a match of two of my favorite worlds. I love that shit. So it's cool seeing this type of stuff, man. It's cool seeing what everybody's picks is. But I think for me, Ghost of Tsushima was the one that tipped me off. Like, yeah, he know ball. He got reintroduced to the game, bro. He back in the fold, bro. He love this shit.
I watched this video because I remember seeing it on TikTok, and I watched this video, and it was like number 5, Ghost of Tsushima. I was like, I gotta finish this video now. I gotta know where he's going.
That one got you to see. You're like, oh.
I was like, oh, not my top 5, but I see you're taking some risks here, Mr. Rhodes. Let's see what we got going on here.
Yeah, bro. I know that got some intrigue, bro. I know everybody they be on the road and stuff. I'm like, yo, I'm glad you found the time for it, brother.
That's a long ass game. Oh,
me. But fantastic, bro. We love to see it, man. More wrestling, more gaming to the world. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, let's move on to another story that was recently developed here from this past couple of days, actually. The Witcher 4. Let's talk about The Witcher. Again, the CD Projekt Red dev team, they kind of came out. They had some statements about the what we're gonna see, what we're gonna feel about the next game. But his voice actor, Geralt's voice actor, Doug Cockle, he basically came out and said, yeah, he's gonna be in the game. Geralt will be there, but he will not be the main character this time around. And this kind of re-sparked a whole nother war with the dweebs online talking about, what do you mean he's not? What do you mean he's not the main character? He's Geralt. That's everything. But what do you mean? This game is gonna woke DI, sweet baby. Like they've been whining like crazy. When I know there's been a fiasco beyond this, and I know there's literally the logical answer staring in our face if you played 3, or at least heard about 3. But how do you feel about this news?
Man, it's gotta be tough being y'all, man. It's gotta be tough. I don't understand it. Y'all have fun with it, I guess. But even in 3, that shit was being talked about. Y'all not really tapped in. Y'all not really tapped in. I'm sorry. Like
half of the reason Good Buddy was even doing 3 in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like the motherfucker right next to him. But
like, come on, bro. Like it's y'all, and the thing is, I really am tired of motherfuckers who don't have fun with video games chiming in about video games not I don't think y'all like games no more. Like that's really what it is. And y'all got 3 full games with Geralt. Go play them bitches.
Facts.
But at the end of when I finish 3, it just if you keep this man here, let him rest, bro.
It makes no sense, brother.
It makes no sense.
Why you threw him back in?
You're gonna get a character that can fucking teleport. Like we're talking about characters gonna be sick. Ciri is a sick ass character, and you all are like, damn, I can't believe it. I gotta play as a woman. Oh no, I hate it here. Like, come on, bro, just get over it. Don't play it. Like, I really wish y'all would just get new hobbies because it just doesn't seem like y'all are interested in this shit no more. And I know what y'all gonna say. I'd be interested if it wasn't so woke. And it's like I don't even know what y'all want to play anymore. To be honest with you, I don't even know what games y'all enjoy these days.
Then go play
Like,
some old games, bitch. If they
play
so
some
not
old
woke.
games. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Go play some
what's
retro
the
shit. Go play some
issue?
Contra, motherfucker. If you want your non-political games, go play Contra. You know what I'm saying? Go play that.
Like, I'm sorry that we're not gonna subvert the entirety of the third. Like, we're not gonna go take the story of 3, throw it out the window because you want to keep playing as the same dude. Like, I'm sorry, but they were leading up to it. You didn't have an issue with it. You didn't have an issue with it until now.
These motherfuckers, yo, one of the greatest games of all time, one of the greatest RPGs of all time. They're like, nah, let's ruin that, bro. We need him back. We need a man's man. We need Geralt back. He is the Witcher. They were trying to make that same argument about like, oh, nobody else could be the Witcher. Oh, there's other people like Vesemir and stuff like that, blah blah blah, and Ciri, but there's only one Witcher. That's Geralt. We know that. They're trying to give the same runaround like that people give Miles Morales and Spider-Man. Like they're saying Miles Morales isn't Spider-Man when he is Spider-Man. His name is just Miles Morales. They're trying to give they're trying to equate the same argument there. I'm like, bro, guys, please, shut up.
Yeah. Like, I just don't know. Like, I really don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all, to be honest with you. Like, that really is just like, it is what it just sucks to be y'all. I couldn't imagine waking up and being like, yeah, this is DEI. I cannot possibly play the 4th edition to one of the best RPGs. Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. It's so much work. Y'all putting in more work on hating video games than y'all do to playing video games. Y'all should pick up like a fighting game. Y'all should pick up like a shooter. Maybe get better at like Valorant or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you took all this energy you had arguing on Twitter about DEIs and bullshit, think about how much better you could be at the games that you play. But instead, y'all would rather argue with people online who actually like the franchise, you know?
Crazy world we live in it? Crazy world.
Tough
for them. I'm gonna enjoy. That's all I know.
I'm gonna go rebeat Witcher so that I can realize, and it's like the first thing in the game. He's like, I gotta find Ciri. Like, come on, bro. I gotta go make sure this girl is good. And then you get to play as her, and you're like, oh, she's sick. Like, fuck Geralt. Geralt's cool. Ciri's hard, bro. She's fucking. Every time you get a Ciri section, like, yo, she's fun as fuck to play. And motherfuckers play that shit. And they said it was fun sections. They themselves, these motherfuckers themselves, are like, those sections with Ciri are cool. They're like, yo, what if we made a game with her? Excuse me? Like, what?
No, we need our pale white man in center stage all the time, please. Like, what? Like, you just agree with us.
Go play 3. There's 2 amazing. That shit is so long. Go play 3, brother. Multiple endings. I don't know. Again, I don't know what y'all want.
They want themselves or whatever weird stuff that they promote.
No, because nobody's Geralt. I'm sorry. You can't be on Twitter with a random fake PF. You think Geralt will be with a fake PFP talking about Sweet Baby every time a game got announced? Geralt will be outside. He's not playing no fucking video games. You do not see yourself in Geralt. You want to be Geralt. You are not Geralt. I'm sorry to tell you.
Facts. You ain't got the drive. You ain't got the heart. You ain't got the bitch getter attitude, brother. I hate to tell
y'all would not survive the Witcher fucking concoctions you have to take to become a Witcher. You would not pass those tests, brother. There's no way that somebody who has a fucking anime PFP arguing about DEIs and Sweet Baby is gonna sit here and tell me that they could take down a Griffin.
You motherfuckers barely drink water. What are you?
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? You're not built for this, bro. It's okay. Just go have fun with y'all lives, bro. I promise y'all be better served doing that. Insane, bro. Yo, go rate this 5 stars before you pass out from dehydration. Bitch ass nigga. It's like, it's wild. It's wild. But let's trudge on. Let's get to the next story here. Let's talk about a new action game. Not just any new action game. We're talking about a brand new action game from Arkane's co-founder, their brand new studio, Wolfeye. It's a brand new first-person action game, and we heard word that if you like, the old style, the old school, if you're liking the DNA of earlier Arkane, the Dishonored's, and those games, how we're feeling, we think you're gonna like this. We got some screenshots, we got some concepts of what we're looking. It's kind of like, not necessarily steampunky, but kind of steampunky. That kind of style that we might be getting back into for this game. How are you feeling about the first words and thoughts about this new game coming from Wolf-Eye Studios?
It's really pretty. Like it's actually really pretty. Um, I'm interested to see. I don't know what I think it's Borderlands 2 that like one of these first screenshots reminds me of. There's like a
Mm,
bandit camp on top of like
mm,
a hill or something that you had to like drive your car up to get to.
yeah,
But like I'm really loving these environments, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Fallout in a way, but like
yeah.
a different kind of Fallout, which is dope. No, this looks really dope. I can't wait to get to see some gameplay and whatnot. But this is like a really good start.
Yeah. Give me gameplay, but I'm liking what I'm seeing and I'm liking what I'm hearing in terms of getting back to that rich, you know what I'm saying? Like the nitty-gritty, the sounder vibe, the freedom of movement, that, you know what I'm saying, Deathloop, all that kind of stuff, that approach the game how you see fit. Love those types of games. So I think it'd be good. And in this Code of Paint, where it's kind of like, again, Fallout, you know what I'm saying? It's Fallout style, like a little bit slightly futuristic, not futuristic, you know what I'm saying? Like a little dystopian type thing. I think it'll be a really good time. So based off the art direction, I'm liking it, but where's the gameplay? Where's the beef, man? We need that. All right, let's slide forward and let's talk about Castle Crashers. Let's talk about Battle Block Theater. Let's talk about all the games that are under the banner of the Behemoth, man. Let's talk about it. So apparently there was a whole brand new update with all of these roadmaps, you know what I'm saying, just coming through. The Behemoth just has a whole bunch of updates for, again, Castle Crashers, Battle Block Theater, brand new DLC, visual revamps. Battle Block Theater gets a whole new quality of life update. There's just a whole bunch of new stuff after like how many years? I don't even know how long it's been. I mean, again,
A lot.
it's been a long time since I think we've gotten an update, like pure new content for Castle Crashers or Battle Block Theater. But it's dope. It's dope to me. But how you feel about this?
No, I think it's pretty dope. I have not battle. Oh, actually, I do have Battle Block, and I also have Castle Crashers.
Mm,
This is dope, and I think it's really cool when you see games do this thing where they just I'm not do this thing, but like when they keep updating their games, and
mm,
if it's like not too big of an issue, because I wouldn't want like this to stop them from making their next title.
yeah.
But I really do love to see a little bit of an update, a little bit of a quality of life, because you never know. Like the creator might have just been like doodling and being like, you know what, I could actually draw a better versions of these characters. So let me just upload them for free. Like that's pretty dope.
100%, 100%. If you guys don't know, the Behemoth made two of possibly the most important and most high quality co-op experiences of all time. Battle Block Theater was a fantastic follow-up, but again, one of my personal favorites, honestly, one of my favorite games of all time. Castle Crashers, one of the best co-op experiences I've ever laid my hands on. And the fact that they've, came back, showed some more love, give us some more updates. I'm gonna be touching back down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be
Yeah.
touching back down in the games to see what's up. Um, if you love co-op gaming, if you love having a good time with your friends, I suggest you look back into this. And I assume this is going to be at a really, really fair price. I don't even know how much it costs right now on Steam or whatever stores are available, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be like $20 max to get either of these games. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, you know what I'm saying? Buckle your pants to get in there, gang. This is a good deal. This is a good deal, and I'm glad that they're dropping something. This is dope. This is something that we don't see as often. Just kind of revisiting, an old game and kind of giving it some new life. So dope. I'm enjoying that. I love that. I need more of it. All right, let's push on. Let's talk about Dragon Ball. We got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero coming through at the end of the year. We got Dragon Ball Daima and all that stuff like that. But there's a brand new Dragon Ball MOBA that is coming through. I think it's Dragon Ball Project Multi that is going to be happening. A 4v4 team battle style MOBA. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. How you feeling?
I think this is cool. Me and my friend had this like conversation a while back where we were like, "Yo, man, it'd be sick if they did like a Shonen Jump type of MOBA." Which I think they
Mm.
did. Or am I tripping? Right? I thought there was like
You may,
that was
yeah.
a thing.
You may
Um,
be right. You may be right.
because I feel like I remember seeing something similar to that. But this looks interesting. I wonder if it's gonna be just on mobile, if it's gonna be on PC. I would love for it to be on PC. But there is a lot of Dragon Ball Z characters. I don't want this to take away from a possible Shonen Jump MOBA.
Yeah.
But
Wait. No. I just looked it up. Yeah. Jump Assemble.
yeah.
That's right. Jump
Yeah,
Assemble.
right? I'm not tripping. I
The
swore
5v5 MOBA. It's mobile only though. I don't think there's any PC or Steam port out for it though.
Whack. Well, I guess I'll be
Yeah.
playing this then. Like, it looks cool though. It looks cool. I'll definitely tap in, especially if it's something along the lines of like Unite, where it's like low commitment. Like League, I feel like it's high as a higher commitment of like, yo, you're going to be in there for at least 30 minutes. Like,
Mhm.
like unless you get stopped or you're stomping, you're going to be in there for at least 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
I hope it's something more low commitment. But I think they would do something smaller. But it looks good though. Looks good.
Yeah. 100%. I think more games should have done this in the first place. Just jump
Yeah.
into the MOBAs. A little better late than never. Dragon Ball, you know, so I think of Pokemon Unite when I think of like, you know, just MOBAs that should have jumped, the IP that should have jumped to MOBA a long time ago. Looks really, really cool. Interested. Again, MOBAs aren't my strong suit, but again, if enough people are in, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, you man, do it, I'll do it. It looks good though. Looks really, really solid. 4v4, I'm interested to see how kind of like the tweaks are and differences between like, you know, typical like 5v5 stuff. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. There's a test that's going on from August 20th to September 3rd. That will happen on Steam as well as mobile stores. But yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on this. All right, we're gonna slide forward here and let's talk about Fortnite, man. Been a minute since we talked about Fortnite on here, but we got a whole lot of new updates with the game, a brand new trailer, I believe chapter 5 season 4. There's a whole bunch of mythics and stuff that are coming through, and it's Marvel based because Doctor Doom is in Fortnite. Yes, that is right, Doctor Doom is in the game. A whole bunch of mythics, like there's like Iron Man one, there's like just a whole bunch of random Marvel stuff, and it's dope. I saw Moff Gideon, which is completely random, but still it's in there. Hey man, there's a lot of stuff going on. How do you feel about the latest updates to Fortnite and Doctor Doom and Marvel folks making their appearance?
I was just talking to my friend about it yesterday because she loves Fortnite, and I was like playing Call of Duty,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, man, I love what Fortnite is doing,
100.
but the TDM is just so fucking good to me. I can get off work, even if I die a bunch, I can still get back in the game. Am I gonna go back? Financially, I'm not where I was. I want to say like last year where I would have just bought out the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the Doctor Doom skin does look hard. Doom is pretty fucking cool.
Listen.
It's difficult. Cyclops is pretty fucking cool.
Listen.
Like it's really difficult. I don't want to have to go back. That's the issue that I kind of have with Fortnite. It's just like I like Fortnite. It's not even a Fortnite problem. It's a battle royale problem for me now. It's like I don't want to. I don't want to load the game up, get in the lobby, click find match, 10, 15 seconds find match, get in the game, wait 30 seconds to drop in. If I go hot and I lose, I got to go all the way back and repeat that 45-second process where I did basically nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't drop hot and I got to drive around for like 10, 15 minutes trying to find somebody. And if I get clapped, then I'm sick. But if you have a good Fortnite game, there's nothing like it.
Bro,
But if you have a bad Fortnite game, you're like, damn. Like if you have multiple bad Fortnite games, I'm just like, bro, I just feel like I'm just loading in to die.
Yeah. That's fair. But I will say,
it looks great. It looks really good. It's enough to
insane.
have me download it. I have downloaded it again.
Yeah.
I may break out of my cycle of playing like Tekken and Call of Duty. So we will see. But it does look sick, man. Cyclops with the cleanest dabs every fucking game, bro.
You know what I mean?
Every game.
Dog, do you see again? They have the Captain America, the shield. They have Shuri with the kinetic claws and stuff like that. They have Iron Man stuff with Iron Man gear you can fly around with. Like again, the Doom mythic itself, where you can just become Doom and just have a whole bunch of like crazy magical beams and shit. Like this is so much. They have Mysterio in shops and stuff. Like
Gwenpool, I think, is also in. I think I noticed her in the trailer.
Yeah. You got War Machine. I forgot about War Machine, bruh. Like dog. They do collabs like nobody else. And we said this from when they started doing it, bro. They're the Undisputed Kings, and they only increase their lead every time they drop something, bro. This is ridiculous at this point. It's unfair. And I will be playing. I just gotta update it. Man. Wild stuff. But let's slide on here. Let's talk about Dead Rising, a game that Wen is, mildly interested in seeing it come back. There is kind of an addendum, a change to what's been going on with the game as it comes back in a re-release and a remaster, as it were. Basically, there was a kind of a system in the old game that kind of gave a bit of reward for players taking erotic photos in game of women, and that has been removed. You know what I'm saying? That has been basically pretty much out in the deluxe remaster. I know some people are let's keep it a stack. Some bums are very, very, very sad that they can't take pictures of people's underwear or cleavage at some point, and you can't get no damn prestige points from it. But you know, suck it. But how do you feel?
I just don't really care. Like, again, I don't. No, I don't want to pretend
No,
like I care. I'm not even gonna pretend like I care. I was just like, because I want to see the like. I get it. You're like, if you're somebody who, no, I just
no.
don't. Maybe the code. Like, I'm really trying to. I'm really
Nope.
trying to care, and I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I really am trying to see the value in it, but I just don't.
There's no
think I
value
care
in that.
much.
There's no value in that. I'm glad it's gone. Like, get it out, bro.
It's a cool little mini game, I guess, but it's not really that big a deal.
Dog.
Like,
go.
it's just
like, dog. The internet's free, bro. You're okay. You're okay, man. Perfect your own
like,
time, weird ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need a game for all that, dog.
I just don't care. Like, I came here for the zombies and the shooting and the funniness. Like,
you can literally missile drop kick zombies, gang. I'm just saying, bro. I'd have
probably missed that shit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, there's shit like that in Yakuza where you can like date women or like go on like these like
relationship sims and stuff. Escort date.
And they even have like Shawty will be like in a swimsuit and you can put like there's some horny shit in there, and like I don't really do it, so I don't really care. And like I've done it to see like what the whole thing is, so when I talk about it on a video, I can say like, oh yes, I've done this minigame, I've done this video game. But I've never really been to the point where like if they remastered and they took it out, I'd be like, it is what it is. Like if this version of the game is definitively better than the other versions of the game, it plays smoother, the graphics are better, and all I had to do was trade in the horny mini game, I'm alright. I don't really need it.
Yep. But again, to all the dweebs that are out there, they just fell to their knees. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of a game, stopping shit. I mean, y'all be all right. Pick yourselves up. You'll be good.
Like, I will say, for those who want to play the originals, I feel like those should be available to you in some capacity. I'll give you that. Like, if you want to play the way it was created the first time, sure. Like, that's an argument you can make, and
that's
I would
a wild
agree with
argument
you there.
Taking pictures of some pixelated titties,
Yeah,
bro.
but
It's
if it's
argument.
like if it's like I want it because I want to be able to play with the titties or take pictures of the titties, I'm just sure, I guess. Like, I don't know. Steam has porn. Like, that's the thing is, like, if I really wanted to do that stuff, Steam has those games available to me. You know, like those games are there, and I just don't know the purpose of taking pictures of like semi-erotic shit, but it's not porn. And like I don't see the purpose of like not just watching porn. I guess maybe that's where I'm missing out on. And I saw a lot of people talk about like, oh, it's a censorship thing. I don't really know if it's something that is necessarily
it's not a necessary thing, bro. It's like,
it's, you know what I'm saying? It's not a necessary. It's like
especially if the devs especially if the devs were ready and willing to get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of their discretion at this point.
Like if you think it's that game changing that you will not buy this game, go crazy, have fun with that. But I'll be all right. I'm about to look up this erotic video mini game and see if this shit's even worth the discussion. Because if this shit is just straight up taking pictures, I'm gonna laugh. Because I just don't know. I just don't get it.
I'm pretty sure it is. You just get like the prestige points things in there for like, again, it's like for Frank. That's literally it. It's just a straight mini game that goes, and like that's all there is to it.
Unless Frank was going to this mall to take pictures of titties, I just don't see how this is game changing. You know, like unless that
wasn't even this man going to story. Nigga,
that's not what he's there for. He just was a perverted, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, shit. I don't know, man. People tweaking over that, bro. Imagine if the source code of this game was intertwined through that damn wild ass game and then the whole shit shut down when they took it out. That's wild. But it's not, so it isn't. So don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like the developers understand that they don't need it. It was from a different time. We can understand that, and it's not needed for the re-release. So we can call a spade a spade. Enjoy drop kicking zombies, bro. I promise you it's fun. I promise you.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. But let's talk real quick about Monster Hunter Wilds. There's been a whole slew of new updates and just a whole bunch of new info about the new weapon classes, the new things that you might be getting into with the game. And they talked about focus mode and bringing that feature into the experience, like talking about aiming attacks or guards and hit wounds for extra damage, using focus strikes and special attacks for big damage and big attacks. I think there's I think it's one per each class has a unique focus strike, so being wary of those things. That all the new weapon class, all the new additions and stuff. How you feeling?
I think that this looks really cool. I think the focus mode is gonna be a big game changer. I love how each individual weapon has a good use for it, and I think it's really dope because sometimes Monster Hunter could feel a little clunky when you're like trying to block or dodge in the right direction.
Yeah.
I wonder how much this is actually going to change the way I play the game is another question. But I really do like being able to aim because there's times where like if I don't face the right way and I start a combo, I'm like, damn. Well, I guess I'm hitting the wrong part of the monster for this then because I'm not going to stop the combo midway because his ass is about to get up in like 3 seconds. So we're about to see if I can do some big damage or not. I'm really excited. I wonder if you could switch your aim mid combo. Like I want to get my hands on it more, but I really do think the focus mode and just being able to aim is just it's small little quality of life updates that you're just like, why wasn't this in the first game? But like, I'm happy that it's here now.
Yeah,
Like we're
true.
we're eating.
Hey man, again, I told y'all before. I'm like, I gotta be a hunter with y'all, man. You gotta reintroduce me to this shit, bro. I gotta get the right segue
Now,
back into this, John.
if I'm not playing that game, I don't know what's going on with me. Like I will be playing that game. If nobody buys that game, I'll be playing that game. If everybody buys the game, I'll be playing that game. But I will be playing that game.
Said if everybody's a fan, I'm one of them. If nobody else is a fan, I'm one of them.
Like, so no, there's no way I'm gonna miss out on this one.
Yeah, that sniper class look kind of hard though. I ain't gonna lie. At the
No,
end of that little clip, I was about to say that's kind of dope. This game is actually going to be
and you could
ridiculous.
switch. You could switch on the fly too. Like that's what's really cool is that you
Ooh.
could easily just be like, you know what, I'm gonna put the sword away. I'm gonna grab out the light because I used to run light bow gun and then I would run um blades, but like I would obviously, I mean
Mm,
not hammer, no, not blades, it was hammers. So like when I'm done leveling up my hammer and I want to play something else, I would use light bow gun. It's cool that I can now straight up. Oh, you can. It does look like you can do combos while aiming at different parts. That's sick. But like now I can easily just level up both and have both on the rise. Will you probably have to get more gear so that you can unlock more weapons? Sure, but I also think
mm.
that's the fun in the game is grinding. So like I'm not even upset that I'm gonna have to like uh hunt more. Like that's the point of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I hear it, bro. But it looks like a fun time. Looks like they're adding a lot of quality layers to it and stuff. So, hey, man, this is gonna be a heavy hitter for next year. It's definitely gonna be a heavy hitter. But let's slide into the trailer trove really quickly. Again, the section where we talk about more watchable media, the TVs, the movies, the animes, all that good stuff. And the first story that we have here is talking about Pokemon. Apparently, the live action Pokemon show at Netflix is still going forward with the story focusing on the exploits and adventures of the character Red. Yes, that Red, the one that don't talk. But we're here, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to see what's happening. How do you feel about the live action Netflix Pokemon going forward?
You ever watch that like 4 or 5 episode like Pokemon Origins anime?
I don't think I have, honestly. Or I may
Really?
have forgotten.
It's at most 8 episodes.
Mm,
Follows Red story.
word.
Probably my favorite
Really?
Pokemon adaptation. Yes, because
I
it's
fuck
only eight
with Red, I ain't
episodes.
gonna lie.
It's really and it's short, sweet. The animation is amazing. It's really
Okay.
dope.
I'm
Um,
gonna look into that.
if it's similar to that, I'm interested, but I'm not. Again, live action just doesn't really speak to me.
Mm,
But One Piece live action wasn't bad. I haven't finished it. What I've seen
yeah.
so far, it's like this is a good way to experience this show. Not the definitive way, but a good way of experiencing the show. Like, hey, you
Mm,
know what? I already watched One Piece. You know what? I'll watch the East Blue arc again.
mm.
I'll see. I'd like to see how y'all do it. Um, so Netflix has honestly been kind of cooking. I haven't seen the Yu Yu Hakusho. I have not heard good things about the Yu Yu Hakusho live
I
action.
will refrain.
So like, I'm not gonna sit here and say their track record is spotless, but I'm gonna let them cook. I'm gonna let them cook on this one.
Yeah, especially with the weight of Pokemon, I feel like they would definitely have a lot more due diligence with that one, especially, you know.
You've seen Detective Pikachu, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like they look great in that, but
Yeah.
of course that's a movie. But
Hmm.
I also think that because it's been done in Detective Pikachu, it wouldn't be impossible to do.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, they gotta have some type of reference, and Detective Pikachu would be that reference. So if they can get in that area, I think it could be a good thing. I think it could actually pull off something. And is Red gonna talk? Does Red talk in the Origins thing?
Honestly, I'm sitting here and I'm really, really, really trying to remember,
Yeah.
and I don't. I think he does, but I don't. If he does, he doesn't do it a lot. I will say
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Which
And
is
if it's a live action, if it's similar to Pokemon Origins, because Pokemon Origins literally in 8 episodes you beat the Elite Four. Like
oh
that
word.
shit goes that shit, and
Damn.
it might be less than 8 episodes, but like you literally at the end of that series, like spoiler, but like the motherfucker finds Mewtwo. That's how far ahead it goes.
Oh damn.
Um, yeah, if it's something like that, if it's a short, sweet, I think that would be sick.
Yeah.
But it's a TV show on Netflix, they might
Yeah.
try to milk that shit.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if I could watch 3 seasons of a live action Pokemon
How
that
many
only
times have
follows
we done
Pokemon
this?
Red. Yeah, like if it's only Pokemon Red, I'm not watching that.
Mhm.
Now, if it's 2 seasons and it's Pokemon Red, actually no, because Pokemon Gold, you're not playing as Red. So if it's
Mm-mm.
2 seasons, one is Red and then it's Pokemon Gold,
And then you find
I'd be
Red.
tapped in. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'd be tapped in. But if it's just, hey, I'm just gonna be Pokemon. It's gonna be Pokemon Red for 3 seasons. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like
Nah.
learn to end things on time.
Facts, bro. You gotta. Timing is key. Timing is key. But this is something I'm still relatively interested in. If they go about that, either the origin route that you were talking about, just in general, I think it's good because again, the reference of Detective Pikachu gives me enough weight to stand on. With like, yo, they could definitely do a good job, at least with the animation of it and bringing it to life. So I'll give them some leeway. I'll give them some leeway on it. But let's move forward and let's talk about one of Wen's favorite series, Yakuza. Yakuza, the TV show, is on the way. And of course, there was a whole nother debacle about a game adaptation that turned into a show. And Amazon apparently asked the cast to not look at any of the games, not look at a single one of the games, none of the source material, so they could come up with their own interpretation and version of the show. So, how you feeling about this?
Stupid. This is dumb. I don't. The reason I think this shit is dumb is because there is a time and place for a Yakuza TV show, and there's a time and place for a Yakuza TV show. And if you're confused by what I mean, is that if you wanted to do a TV show that didn't have anything to do with the games, just make a TV show about the Yakuza. The
Mhm.
Yakuza in this game is not some kind of foreign thing that was just created out of thin blue air. You know, like it wasn't. It is a based on real shit.
Yeah.
So why not, if you don't want it to follow the games, why not, crazy concept, just make a TV show about Yakuza? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there are TV shows about Yakuzas. Like there are TV shows that you could just make that are good. Why, if you're gonna make a TV show about a video game, would you not look at the video game? It's like, oh, we want to make our own interpretation. That's not what I'm watching the shit for. I'm not watching this because I want to see your interpretation of what a Yakuza TV show would look like. I want to watch it because I want to see Kiryu. I want to see the shit that I remember, the shit that I play, the shit that I like. I don't think I need, and I hate that shit too. I hate that you can't play the games and come up with your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate that it's like, oh, we played the game. Well,
Mm.
my brain cannot possibly come up with ways that I would change this story. It is impossible for me now to deviate from the main source material
Yeah.
because it just doesn't make sense to me. I think it's stupid. I think you're setting yourself up for failure, and I think there's maybe somebody who's got their hand a little too much in the cooking. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to take a step back because again, what we say this all the time about video game adaptations. If you're gonna adapt the video game and you're gonna show this to the fans, like, hey, we're trying to make your favorite franchise into something. Why would you then take the thing that they fell in love with and ignore it? That doesn't make any kind of sense. If you're making me dinner and you know that I fucking love burgers, I'm a big fan of burgers. All I wanted you to do was to make me a burger. And you say, well, actually, I decided to make some meatballs. It has ground beef, but it's my own interpretation of what a burger would be. And I say this shit is ass. You cannot possibly be surprised when I ask you for one specific thing, you know?
Yeah.
Now,
Sure.
if I ask you for a burger and you make a bad burger, that's a different conversation. but you actively going out of your way to ignore what we want just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, nah, I get it, bro. It's just I hate when when studios do this. Obviously, again, there are some instances when deviating heavily does work, but there has to be some reference of and some basis of the what's it called, the original source material for at least the cast to kind of get a slight basis before they like kind of go full off the script and whatever, blah blah blah. Like, I don't know how much of the cast of The Boys read the comics at all. I'm pretty sure they probably read it very little, and that turned out fine. But again, I think that's an anomaly where the comic, again, most of it wasn't really that great. The plot was
The
very
comic
interesting.
wasn't good.
Yeah,
the comic wasn't good.
Yeah, they said it was ass, and then like, you know, they made something out of the concept that was very interesting, but that's kind of that's on the other side of probability. That's like that's much less likely to happen than if you go off script or off the road with an IP. It's going to be fantastic. Like, you know, again, like this and like fucking what, like Joker maybe. You know what I mean? Like Todd Phillips' Joker. It's like, oh shit, we didn't really go like nitty gritty. We kind of went a completely different direction and didn't do too much to the, you know, source material. That kind of went our own way and it worked. Like, that only happens a few and far in between. So you're running the risk, and you're already kind of amping people up to kind of get the pitchforks out by saying this out loud. You know what I mean? This is some shit I would just keep quiet. I would have said like, you know, sometimes some random some did, you know, maybe they did. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Something. Let's watch the show and find out if we did. You know what I mean? Like, keep your eyes peeled for some things that we might have in there, and we might have nothing. You know, I wouldn't say this information out loud, especially to a rabid fan base, a very avid fan base that is heavily connected to the series. Saying this only kind of discourages them from watching the show or giving favorable reviews of the show or favorable conceptions of the show after they watch it. So it's just a thing of like, bro, don't say it, or you should probably do the best thing ever and just at least in some parts give them some leeway to look at it. It didn't have to be a carbon copy of the show, I mean of the games, but at least give them enough to chew on to where it's saying, yo, this is what your character kind of feels like a little bit. You can kind of paint within the lines, but here's the stencil. You know what I mean? It's wild, but I hope the show turns out great, but this typically isn't a good sign.
Yeah, I will be watching, but if I'm not impressed, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, tough work.
Actually, you know what's funny is like, and the Fallout show is actually a good example. It's like, I think the main character, one of the main characters, the ghoul, was like, I didn't play any of the game, but I thought it was important that somebody there not be a fan of it. I think if they were like one person or one of the writers shouldn't be a fan or engage with the media, that would be a different story. But everybody, all right, man. Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
It's balance. It's counterbalancing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have somebody who's just dedicated there. Okay, of course, everybody's dedicated to making a good show, but then you have the people who have the propensity to, you know what I'm saying, or know-how and knowledge of an IP, and they have the propensity to know the IP and get fully entrenched in it because they're fans of it. And you have people who aren't fans of it, who have nothing to do with it or didn't even know about it, so they can counterbalance some of the ideas and some of the excitement that the other side may have for the series and shows and ideas that they want to implement. Want to be like, yo, cool as from the games, but this might not make sense for this medium. This might not make sense here. So let's balance it out. I agree. I understand that. But if you're going in blind and you just completely disregard the material that you're pulling from, you just want the IP to just sell it, then that puts you in a much harsher river than the other way, when you just have some type of reference and reverence for the material. This is why people like Oda was so close to the One Piece show in the first place. Like, bro, they could just completely disregard it. They just want to take your IP that's popping and put their show on it. And it's like, bro, that's not how this works.
No, yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Man. But I don't know. We'll see. Hella High Water will find out if it's good or not. But let's slide forward. Let's talk about Black Ops 6 Zombies. Yes, we had a whole entire reveal of zombies over the past week and change. Whole 17, 20-minute review of the new story, the new gameplay, what's coming through. I believe we're back on, I think this is Rebirth Island. I can't remember the prison that was on Rebirth Island or something like that. I might be wrong. Whatever. It's okay. But there's a whole bunch of new details. Again, round-based zombies is back. There's new save and quit features for solo play. You can drop in, drop out, and multiplayer matches. First and third person mode is accessible. You can toggle on and off. Classic prestige weapon progression, custom HUDs, all the stuff for multiplayer in terms of the customization of your viewpoints. A lot of zombies Easter eggs. A lot of mainline hidden ones. I think they said there was like a really high quest count on this map. a whole bunch of new gobble gums. I think there's like a melee one, a new perks and stuff like that. A whole lot of stuff. There's a lot of zombie stuff going on right now, bruh. But how do you feel about what you saw?
It looked pretty dope. I literally tried to play zombies Modern Warfare 3 and I just wasn't a huge fan of it.
You picked the worst one to go to, bruh. You picked
Yeah,
the
no,
worst
because
one.
I haven't played zombies since what's the zombies where they were on the ship? I guess
That is
that's where it started off.
Black Ops 1 Call of the Dead. Like the actors on a ship?
No, 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 no. It was a newer one. I don't think it was Black Ops 1.
On a ship.
Maybe
Who was on a
Cold War? Maybe?
on a ship.
Cold War. Actually, no, Cold War was the most recent one that I played.
Word. When they on a ship in a zombies map? I can't remember. Cold War zombies, I barely remember. So you can.
It was like a Titanic type of ship. I cannot remember. But it was like it's not.
Oh,
That's not my first one.
Yeah, I know
That
what
was
you're
like
talking about.
one of the more recent ones that I played.
I know what you're talking about.
But the most recent one was Cold War. And I remember playing that and being like, oh, this isn't bad. This isn't terrible. And it's not that terrible. It was pretty solid. It just didn't feel the same because like you had a random ass operator and it wasn't like one of the characters. And I thought that was kind of corny, but I was like, all right, whatever. And then I played zombies like 2 days ago on Modern Warfare 3 because I was like, I haven't tried the zombies mode out. I only been playing multiplayer. And then I try it and I'm like, damn, this shit is weird. Like I didn't ask because I queued up and then it was like looking for match 31 out of 32 and I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck does that mean? What do you mean 1 out of 32? And then it was like, oh, we're all dropping. Oh, there's a zone. Yeah, I promptly quit out of that shit. I was like, this shit is ass.
It's I talked about that on an old video on my channel too. I was like, bruh, they just gutted MW2's that DMZ shit that we talked about, and they just put it in there, copy paste it, and just do more zombie shit on it. It was a cop out. It was honestly a cop out, bro.
It was
sad.
It was pretty dumb. Now, mind you, if you would have given me one of those smaller battle royale maps, like that island or whatever, I think it's Rebirth Island.
Rebirth.
I cannot remember, Resurgence or whatever.
Yeah.
If you would have gave me that shit, just me and the homies by ourselves, that would have been way more fun. You know what I'm saying? Like have some doors and shit, unlock them, find weapons. Like that would have been way cooler. This looks a lot better in my opinion. I love being able to save and quit because Lord knows you could be in a sick ass run, and I'm trying to go to sleep on time or like
honestly
I gotta go do some shit. Your friends being able to join mid match is amazing because like Lord knows I'm at fucking wave 30 and I'm not trying to quit. I'm trying to see how far I can go. I'm not trying to quit out because you decided to get on after I texted you 20 minutes ago to get on, and you said I was gonna be in there in 5 minutes. It's been 20 minutes, brother. I already started this bitch up. I'm not gonna quit right now. So yes, I am happy that you can actually drop in and drop out. Like it's just making it more of a what feels like it should be like a regular couch co-op, not couch co-op, but like a co-op experience. Just like yo, we're here to have fun. Obviously zombies can get sweaty, but it's not supposed to be fucking yo lock in and like drink 10 Red Bulls. And you know what I'm saying? Like it can just be a regular chill experience, you know?
Yeah, no, I hear it. Zombies looks to be back again. Round-based zombies first and foremost. We needed that back off the rip. I didn't. Whatever MW3 was, get rid of that. Put that under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Stomp on it a couple times. Make sure it's gone. Doesn't twitch. Doesn't move. Move that to the side. This is what we want to see. This is what we want, man. Again, I used to be really, really heavy into the Easter egg, the full fold of stuff. You know what I'm saying, with the zombies maps and stuff, and the Reisendrache and stuff, and all that the whole Dark Ether storyline, all that shit like that. All that. I was loving it. And I'm glad that they're doubling down and kind of getting back to roots and also adding so much fun. Like again, the gobble gums are back. The different map, like the map looks huge. Like again, you can traverse by boat. There's different islands you can get to, mini islands and stuff, new enemy types, like a whole big ass spider spawned out of the zombie, like at one point in the trailer, at one point in the footage, I was like, yeah, this is wild as shit. I'm in. I think it's gonna be a really, really fun time when it drops. And yeah, this is giving me the vibes of like, yo, zombies is here to have a really, really solid deep run and keep people engaged throughout the year. I think this is going to be a really hot start, and it's going to be more than enough to keep people engaged until the DLC and the next content packs drop for the zombies run for Black Ops 6. So dope stuff. I'm loving that. All right, let's slide on. Let's talk about Warner Brothers Discovery. Let's talk about the fact that they have apparently been in the hunt to license their IPs in the gaming division and potentially sell their entire gaming division as it is. We've heard this, again, rumors swirling over the past couple of weeks, just about, their, kind of basically just their entire desire, their potential look in to, just sell off their games in order to kind of prevent a total breakup and just dissolving of a lot of their studios. Again, like, you just think about how many people are under the banner: WB Montreal, Avalanche, NetherRealm, Monolith, Rocksteady, the IPs, again, all of DC, Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat. Again, think about the Multiverse's IP. You know what I'm saying? Just how that is, like, how much stuff is in there. This is a big, big potential thing. And I know we saw Tango get picked up. This could be another big breakup and exodus for Warner Bros. In the gaming division. How do you feel about this, Wen?
I think it's I think it might be a good thing. I wonder if when they sell their IPs, do they still own the patent to the Nemesis system? That's my question.
I think I think that is slightly separate. I think the system itself is separate from the IP of the game, so they hold proprietary rights over the mechanics of it, but they can probably license out the IP and stuff. And again, they can license out the Nemesis system, but they just charge too much because they're the only ones that know how to do it. Dicks.
Yeah, like this is just WB as a company is just very interesting.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they know what they want to do. I think they kind of change their minds way too often. Like, oh, let's buy up all this stuff. Damn, we can't afford it. Let's actually liquidate all this stuff. Oh, let's have all these IPs. Start a gaming division. Let's be real hands on. Actually, we don't want to do that anymore. Let's sell all this stuff. Like, brother, I need y'all to do one thing. If y'all gonna change your minds, let's change your minds about this fucking price increases. That's the only thing I want you to change your minds about. Because HBO Max shouldn't be this goddamn expensive. But anyways, back to the important thing. I think it would be good to sell it to, like, I could see a good Matrix game in the works. You know what I'm saying? I could see good games being made. I just don't think y'all really have I don't think y'all really got it in you, to be honest with you.
Don't have the capacity.
No, like I don't think y'all do. Like the best game that came out of y'all shit recently was what? Hogwarts Legacy? And that's in and of itself an IP that's very controversial. Like there's motherfuckers who are not tapping into that shit. Because unfortunately, y'all working with JK, she out of pocket. Like, I'm good off that. And that's kind of sad because you guys have all of DC. The Batman games are amazing, bro. Thanks. And you have not been able to touch what those games have done. Even the worst game in that franchise is leagues better than most of the shit you've made. And this is coming from somebody who's played a lot of Suicide Squad. That shit isn't that good either. Like, y'all don't know what you're doing. I think y'all are the problem with a lot of your problems, if that makes sense. Like, I think you guys are literally like, oh man, Suicide Squad wasn't a good game. Why? Because y'all, I don't know this for sure, but I'd bet my bottom dollar live action was your idea. Battle passes were your idea. Microtransactions was your idea. Like, I promise you, if you would have released it as a regular ass game, people would have paid money for regular character updates, new characters, whatever. But like, y'all OD'd. And I think this is just like classic WB. One year they're doing this, the next year they're doing something else. Release the motherfucking Acme movie, by the way. Facts. I'm waiting on that still.
Facts. And free my man, the WB Frog, man. Wherever y'all got that man hold up. I know he's back. I know he's in there. I know he's in the offices.
He's just back there like, hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
Ragtime.
Just breaks down. Oh shit.
David Zaslav, you'll pay for your crimes. Oh gosh. Oh shoot, I'm tearing up. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Nah, man. But seriously, WB, y'all are out of sorts, bro. Y'all are out of fucking pocket, man. Like, I think honestly, a weird prediction just about the gaming space and how business and gaming in general is. Honestly, I feel like we're getting so close to a breaking point to where we're going to see a lot of not monopolization or oligopolies coming up. I feel like as conditions might not improve, we're gonna see a lot more clustering of certain studios and IPs, like the smaller players, like smaller fish, like what we saw earlier with Tango getting picked up by Krafton. Like the only major thing they really have is probably like a couple mobile things and PUBG, which is kind of a mobile thing now. But you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
can see these publishers and smaller companies kind of breaking up, and it's kind of like how the NBA is getting followed. Like super teams are kind of, they're not really like super teams anymore. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like there's more even distribution and clustering of talent and resources and stuff that goes across, not necessarily in pure money, but just how studios end up. And I could see, if WB is like, well, one, their leadership is fucking stupid. I don't understand how they're burning money at this point nonstop. So I could likely see a scenario where they're just really looking, they're, again, like the report suggests, they're pushing to sell it, and we cluster this off into other studios, and like people might come on to pick up, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? A couple publishers might get lucky and they might pick up some IPs that are really, really key. I would say in terms of impact, the thing that's probably feels the worst pain from this is multiverses. What the hell happens if they just lose all their Warner Brothers shit? What happens if they get sold, bro? They can't. I don't think they can exist unless they strike unless they strike a special deal to keep, like certain things, keep certain existing characters in the game, and then the funnel just to WB stuff stops, and they have to either pick new characters or do whatever. But that's not a good look in any way you slice it. Like all the WB stuff that you promoted and are a part of, it just goes kaput if you're sold. Like
Here's my thing.
It's wild.
I think because they own player first games, don't they?
Yes, they just acquired them. Yes, as of a couple episodes ago.
Maybe they don't have to pay for the licenses because maybe like WB will license out certain things, but they will retain the rights to them. So like I don't know,
since they're wholly owned now, I think probably not. But still, what if they get spun out to a company?
Yeah.
Do the services of Player First, like if Player First becomes either its own entity or under somebody else's banner, do licenses come into play now, or is it just some type of special, thing that they might have to broker where like, oh, up to a certain point, all this content just stays on the game without any extra payments? Which I fucking doubt under David Zaslav. I doubt that could happen.
Yeah, I think what's gonna happen is multiverses might get shut down,
bro.
And I hope that's not the case. But that there is I could easily see Warner Brothers being like, well, this game doesn't matter to us. It's not making us $1 billion, so it's over. And it would be difficult because I was actually having a little bit of fun recently with multiverses, but I could easily see that shit happening. I could see a lot of people being like, oh, well, whatever. Smash Clone didn't make it. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could easily just be one of those things.
Yeah, 100, bro. And it's tough. It's tough, bro. But I bottom line, I hope these studios don't get shut down. I hope they can either find a new home or Warner Bros. Comes to their senses and starts to actually take care of these companies, these teams. And because there's a lot of great IP, there's a lot of great stuff in there. There's a lot of great potential experiences that we could have in what WB owns. And just, recklessly selling them off or not taking care in any transition period is potentially dangerous. It's dangerous, bro. And I don't want anybody to get knocked out in the collateral of their moves trying to save some money. So Zaslav, fix up, man. Fix up. Stop playing with us, man. Yeah. But we can slide on to the next story here. Let's talk about Sony. And again, we had a little bit of a chat about them, just talking about how they were with Bungie earlier, but apparently there have been some kind of chatterings and chitterings from Jason Schreier. You know what I'm saying? He kind of just put some shit through just about, their thoughts about how certain things went on the Naughty Dog Last of Us Factions project. Factions 2, Last of Us Online, Last of Us Factions, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Apparently it was in development for 4 years, had a team in the hundreds. It was a really, really expensive project, and apparently that cancellation made some heads roll at Sony. They were kind of pissed that it was just canceled out of nowhere, bruh. So, I mean, in a state where they're really hunting for some real solid multiplayer shit, they looked pretty mad, or they felt pretty mad, according to the Jason Schreier's reporting. So, I mean, how do you feel about this?
I think it's really interesting that like how do you cancel something without Sony signing off on it? Or they must have signed off on it. They probably had to.
Yeah.
But it's just like interesting that like 100 motherfuckers working on that. How hard is this game to make? You know what I'm saying? What were the ambitious goals they had to do? You know, like I want to see a kind. I'm kind of on Sony's side. I want to see a breakdown. What were the plans? What did Sony sign off on? Like, I think this is be a great game. Like, I'm cool with all this shit. And what was it that was like, yo, we actually cannot do this anymore? And Sony was just like, I guess cancel it. Like, I don't know. It's such an interesting. This is one of those moments where like I wish I knew more about the industry or was more inside the industry to really be able to like say, wow, like I kind of screwed the pooch on this one.
I mean, this is
No, go ahead.
yeah, my fault. This is a conflicting bag. This is a very conflicting bag because on one side, I don't want Naughty Dog to potentially have a BioWare moment and step too far out of their frame. And you know what I'm saying? Again, with Last of Us Factions, and then they make some shit that like just didn't hit. But, you know, on the other side, I would have loved to see Last of Us Factions multiplayer. You know how hard I advocated for that shit, and I'm mad the day it got canceled. It was a very tough day. I literally did a one-off video on the channel, you know what I'm saying, just to exclaim my disappointment to the world. But it's interesting. I want to actually know that funnel of who kind of decided that, you know, like yo, it's there, and I know it was politics, bro, because I can bet you money at some point this was the crown jewel of their multiplayer efforts. I could bet a solid $1.50, not too much now, $1.50 that this game, this project that they had apparently hundreds of people were working on it. A lot of money was spent on it so far, and they got to the point where it just got canceled. I think that this was the crown jewel of their multiplayer efforts. They were like, yo, we need something that's gonna stick. And we've been carping about this for at least 2 years now. Sony is desperate to get something that's a big multiplayer game that's in the somewhere of a ballpark as Call of Duty, so they can be on their own. They can have their first party slate good. That's why they're a little bit panicky when, you know, Xbox went in to go buy Call of Duty. But this game had to have been the crown jewel, and it's wild to see kind of the backlash of it. This is gone, but Concord is clean through. You know what I mean? Like, and the model of Concord, the gameplay, I think it looks really interesting. I think it could survive, but the model of it, I don't know if it could. You know what I'm saying? In today's day and age, even though it's only $40 up front and free content after, the packaging of it might not be the most fruitful. You know, I feel like there's definitely some contention within Sony to be like, yo, okay, so what's good and what's not? You guys canceled this, but you cleared Concord. Like, what's the deal here? I think it's just all the byproducts of desperation to really get a multiplayer project like stamped on as a hit in this space, because we all know that's like you know what I'm saying, what I was about to say, people trying to find, like, you know what I'm saying, Declaration of Independence and shit, or whatever, the lost treasure and shit that was a national treasure, the one that Sean B was looking for before he got arrested. You know what I'm saying? That shit, he's so desperate, they're so desperate to do it, people will get burned, people get left behind for this type shit. And it's just wild to see kind of how certain things are panning out. And again, I think the turning point to them turning the shit down was Bungie. Because again, remember the Bungie had a reported player test for this game. They're like, yo, Faction 2 might not be sustainable, guys. You might want to shut it down. And that could have been a big influencer in how they decided to operate and eventually shut it down, which might not bode well for Bungie since they're getting absorbed like very, very aggressively at this stage. But it's just wild to see in kind of looking back on it.
Yeah. No, it's a sad sight. It's a sad sight, and it's really sad because I feel like this is the one multiplayer game that everybody was like saying like, "Yo, this is the PlayStation." Like this could have been what I feel like gave PlayStation that shooter that they've been desperately trying to recreate.
Bro,
so we're gonna see because all we have now is Marathon, and that shit is made by Bungie. So
dang, he even said we got Concord. We don't even got that.
I mean, like I just saw the roadmap for it. It doesn't look bad, but the reception, like, I'm sorry. What, 3K people playing of the open beta? That's gonna be a game that has a dedicated small community, but a dedicated one. And I think it will have some type of space, but it is not Halo. It is not Gears. It is not what I think what I think Sony wants it to be.
Yeah, nah, I hear it. It's just what could have been. And I feel like a lot of people got burned over this, and I feel like this was their biggest attempt at making a sustainable first party multiplayer for some years, and it looks like they're going to be behind the 8 ball for a few more, trying to get something that will stick in the multiplayer lane. Let's look forward here. Let's talk about Splitgate, man. Let's talk about a multiplayer that is hitting You know what I'm saying? We got our first look at Splitgate 2. A bunch of creators were invited down to the Splitgate studios to talk about the different factions, the different classes that are involved in the game, some gameplay first looks. Looks really, really interesting. Again, updated look and feel. The portals are, of course, always still there. Different class specializations, some new guns and gameplay to look at. Walk me through it. How you feeling about your first thoughts on Splitgate 2 gameplay?
The gunplay low key kind of reminded me of COD, and it could just be like the clips that they're using had like low time to kill, like the people that they were dying had just been shot a couple times prior or something like that. Because I
Yeah.
remember the first Splitgate had like I feel like a high TTK. It felt like a Halo, so to speak.
Yes.
This game feels a little bit more COD like in the sense of like it's easier to get the kills, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think TTK is dependent on the player. Some people like a higher one, some people like a lower one. I think Call of Duties to me is like somewhere in the middle where I'm like, I'm cool with this. Like, I'm happy with how quick I could kill somebody, but it's also not so quick that I don't feel destroyed by somebody who has just like a significantly better connection.
Yeah.
My only thing that I noticed was like, this is just in the gameplay that I saw, because I didn't really listen to the breakdown too much. I was just watching a couple clips. I didn't see too many portals
Yeah.
this time
I saw
around
them.
because
I
I saw no, and
yeah, they're fair
I
enough.
saw some too, but I didn't see as many as like I just remember like playing Splitgate 1, and all I was doing was fucking getting angles with portals. Like that was my whole thing was like boom, boom, shooting through the portal. It was more showcasing the movement,
Yeah.
which I don't think is a bad thing because there's a whole new movement system, it seems like, which is gonna be really fun to play with, especially with the momentum of a portal. Like imagine how fast you could slide if you just if you hit a portal at the right time. Like I think it's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
But they were showcasing a lot of other stuff too, which
Yeah.
was really interesting. And I want to know, do you feel like they're moving not necessarily away from the portal play itself, or do you think that now that there's other things involved, they're trying to make a game that isn't just reliant on being portals with Halo and portals? You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think they are trying to move a little bit more. They're trying to expand the net a little bit, because if you
Yeah.
look at, again, they have the different class systems with like the healers and spotters. Again, some of the kind of the rusher classes and stuff, the custom. They're trying to give it a bit more definable flavor, because again, I think something that did hurt a little bit was of course timing with the release of Halo Infinite and them just kind of being called Halo with portals, kind of how the futuristic look was. But now they have a little bit more kind of sway to their movement. There's a little bit more smoothness to it than I think typical Halo is. I just feel like it gives itself a bit more of a discernible style, and I think that's important, especially in this market, in this point in time, where you gotta have something to stand out. The portal's already one thing, but now he's kind of like, okay, cool, what else? Because people are, again, multiplayer, especially FPS people, they are very quick to learn the metas, and they're very quick to understand gameplay mechanics when they get into it. So I think that it's a good step forward. It is a needed step forward for them to be more discernible with the class differentiation, with some weapons. Again, they still have the jetpacks, they still have the portals, but it just feels like the maps are now a bit more wider to include the different, the updated engine, the updated movement systems. Things look a lot smoother. Things play a lot more. I think probably about the same rate of speed as Splitgate 1 so far from my first eye test. It just feels like the animations just look a lot more smoother, and the gunplay looks a little bit more tighter from that. And again, we're getting a bigger range of stuff in terms of the guns, the skills. You see like the whole bubble shield that kind of pops up. Well, not a bubble shield, like kind of the front facing ones, like C4 packs and stuff. A lot of stuff that's in there. It's fresh. But to answer that question, yes, I think they are moving a little bit. They're moving a little bit farther back from portals being center stage to make room for everything else. I think it's like the split is 60-40 at this point from my eyes of, portals are central, but now we're just moving them a little bit to left of center to make more room for the classes, for the things that give a little bit more style and flavor to the game that will make people stick for longer.
Yeah. No, and I think that having more more things in the game outside of just being like, hey, this is portals, hey, and guns, this is now a better long lasting game in my opinion. Because once you get like, I feel like Splitgate 1, the biggest issue was just really like, well, we're gonna need to keep pumping out maps if the only thing I have to look forward to is just the same guns that I can pick up on the ground and the same mechanic. Which I don't think the game Splitgate 1 was bad by any means. It's just, after a while, especially with the turnover rate of games these days, it's gonna get
Yeah.
thrown to the side. Like a new
And
shooter's gonna come out.
people are gonna chew it up, digest it. Oh, this was all it had to offer. Cool, bang. We're good.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that, but that's just how the casual audience is. You got to give them more than enough to chew on for a while before you start funneling in new content. And at least for me, it looks like it has enough in its classes. You can see all the different gunplay and stuff that you're in there. Like I saw like the split stream or whatever that can dual wield and then go into one gun.
Yeah.
A lot of different things to offer that you can experience and experiment with and get some good output before they keep updating the game continually. I think it looks good so far.
No, yeah, I think this is gonna be a really good shooter. I'm definitely gonna tap in. And I think hopefully the classes are well balanced enough or enough and enough in the sense that like if you're playing the defensive guy, you can't just camp in a corner with the shields up. Like I wonder what they'll do to like circumvent certain things like that. But I don't know. Didn't see this. And if it'd be sick. But one thing that I thought would be cool is like I saw that they had a dude with a shield, and obviously you can't shoot through the shield. But I wonder if you could put a portal behind the guy with the shield if you could shoot your portal gun through it.
Yeah. No. It depends on what surface they're on. I think because like they have all the open like portal surfaces that you can hit. But I think you can most definitely like you could in the first game. Like if you put a portal placed on a certain point in the wall, you can see through it, and you're able to literally hit them from a certain angle. Like if you get it right behind them and shoot it past them, yeah, then I think it could work. It just depends on where the portal shoots. I like if the portal like prompt and the portal command goes through shields, like or it could just phase through to a wall, which I think again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think you can. I think you can as long as it hits a designated portal surface. It can actually go through and shine through, which would actually, bode well. Or you can kind of preemptively do it, and then if somebody comes to the line of sight, you still shoot through it. Because there was specifically a clip in this 5-minute gameplay where he opened a wall and shot him through it. So that's still there. It's still present, but it just depends on timing and placement and stuff. Which I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, word. But yes, so far I'm really liking it. I'm really liking what I'm seeing for Splitgate. All right, we can slide on here to the last story of the day, boy. Let's talk about Microsoft. Talk about Xbox, man. Let's talk about what they're doing as of late. Apparently, we've heard some news from Windows Central from Jez Corden that there is a new formation of a team between Microsoft and Activision within Blizzard to work on smaller games based on existing IP. Apparently, it's a brand new team again under the King Blizzard umbrella that's starting to form more of a AA centric team and exploring more experiences with agile development studios, development teams to build again those those games out to kind of sit under AAA stuff, and yeah, just focus on more of combating the AAA kind of cost ballooning that's been happening over the past few years. So, how do you feel about that focus on more AA games and the creation of teams like this?
I think it's a good call. I think Activision has such a big Activision Blizzard, like Xbox in general has a huge amount of IPs under their belt. AA, I think, would honestly benefit them the most because I think that would be the most bang for their buck when it comes to things like Game Pass. Like a AA game that I cannot shut up about is Kunitsugami.
Facts.
Path of the Goddess. Like I love that game, and it's a game that I think not many people would have bought on release. But if you threw that bad boy on Game Pass, I love it. I play it. I still need to beat it, but I've literally been working my way slowly through it. There's more games like that on Game Pass that I think give the consumer valid reason to keep paying for it. I think another one that just released, Creatures of Ava or Ava. I need to tap into Flintlock, like really, really good AA games that I think really are like the backbone of Game Pass. Because don't get me wrong, you got your Call of Duties, you have your Forzas, you have those big blockbuster games, but they only drop every so often. We can't always expect we could always expect every year for a Call of Duty, but let's be honest. But you can't always expect for a game like Forza to drop every single year. But something like My Time at Sandrock, like I'm literally just looking at like recently added. Those are like games that just got recently added. There's a bunch of games that are just good games that aren't crazy breaking the bank, but I know that there's a lot of people that get a lot of time out of them, and a lot of game companies that may not have gotten as much exposure now have more exposure because of them being on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So I think this is just like a no-brainer, and I'm happy that they're making this step. I wish they would have kept some other studios involved. Tango, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about AA games that people liked, that felt like that's really what Hi-Fi Rush was, but I digress. This is a smart move on their part. I want to see it followed through and done correctly, because that's the biggest that's going to be the deciding factor, is like, how well can you guys execute on this plan?
100%. And I think it's funny that, like, kind of now they're like, we got to kind of capitalize on this. It comes a little bit later, but still, there's still time to adjust. But after, again, Hi-Fi Rush and after Power World had a really big boom with a super, super small team, I think they kind of saw the writing on the wall between that and between all the stuff that's been happening at the AAA level, like how difficult it is to really deliver at a AAA level today. And I think they've, again, come to this realization where we kind of have to offset some of the cost bearing with some of the agility and some of the availability of some of our resources. Like, if we can deploy these smaller teams to kind of work on, these existing IPs, we could potentially have, high hit rates and stuff for a fraction of the cost of us making one big super RPG experience or super AAA experience. And then maybe we can build up to it over time or send those up to higher teams. And something else that was fair to note in this article, and just some context added by Jess Corden, was the intent from Xbox wanting studios within the umbrella to collaborate more closely. They kind of wanted to emulate how Nintendo works with the close knit of studios and developers and teams that know each other's style, that know how to kind of contribute to each other. Like, the Coalition's been supporting other teams, apparently, like the Undead Lab stuff with State of Decay. Coalition's been actively at work helping them out. So I think this is a really smart move. Again, I agree with you. It's a no-brainer, because at multiple levels, you're fostering collaboration between known franchises and teams within your umbrella of teams and stuff like that. Like, again, the Coalition could go help this other indie developer, or you could have an indie team of like freaking 5 people making a really, really big hit that's apparently got great word of mouth, and that could build up notoriety and fame and potential sales into something bigger. In this day and age, you have to be a little bit more purist with your approach, and not with you can't just throw money at this. You can't really just throw money at this. And I think AA and indie, of course, it's going to be the point where some more of the fun, more experimental, more of the, again, wider, maybe more out there ideas that you couldn't necessarily pull off in AAA are possible, and that might lend itself to you latching onto a smash hit. Because, again, another example, Helldivers 2 is, to me, right, Helldivers 2 is AA. It's a AA game. And that's just how it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a AA game. Helldivers 1 was either indie or indie or smaller scale. At most, Helldivers is AA, and it's amassed a huge following just because of how authentic it was in its experience and what it built on. So I think the signs have been always there for Xbox to kind of start moving in this direction. Not get rid of their AAA experiences, because I think you need the big heavy hitter titles, but decreasing the rate of them so you don't have to spend so much money on things that aren't as surefire hits, and you can spend more of this money creating weirder, more fun, more out there experiences that are, at least a lot more digestible on your wage bill, because there are smaller experiences. You know what I'm saying? You can pull a cane of Bridge of Spirits and be like, all right, listen, we need a team of like 75 people. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a quick, like 3 or 4 year project. You know what I'm saying? Get this in. This is very, very easy, very, very deployable strategy to kind of like put a lot of people onto, put a lot of resources into, and you're good. And again, if it's a decent hit on Game Pass, cool. You know what I'm saying? At worst, it just kind of has a nice little moment on Game Pass after you promote it, and it kind of fizzles out. But it was a good learning experience, and you got to collaborate more with some of your umbrella studios, more, again, synergy, more chemistry, and that adds to bigger projects if you need to call in certain people. At best, you get a banger hit like a Power World or something like that, and you just create a whole new star that you can bank on in the future for IPs and stuff. So it's a good strategy. I think this is a good strategy that everybody else kind of employs in one way or another, whether it's Nintendo, They've been doing this for years, and Sony always has their indie studios that they kind of support and prop up and kind of bring into the fold, like the people who made Stray and shit like that. It Takes Two, that they've had their thing. I don't know if they're fully independent or they work with Sony or Xbox. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you know what I'm saying. Those level of studios and those games, those experiences, they get some play, and then they start to get integrated a little bit more and more, get more support over time, and that start adding a lot more value. That is, exponentially higher than what it costs to make the game. So I think there's a lot of potential to create some good shit here. More weirder, more diverse games, and I think there's a great way to deliver it. So I'm interested to see the strategy unfold.
Yeah.
Boom. Damn. Rate this shit 5 stars. I was sounding real businessy, man. I was getting in
No,
that
yeah, you
bag,
were
man.
cooking. You were cooking.
Put a little sauce on it right there, man. But that's all we got for this episode, man. That's all we got for the show today. Anything that we might have missed outside of this? Oh, also, no, Replaced did get delayed. Replaced got delayed in
Yeah, I
2025.
saw that. I saw that.
Listen, shit happens, bro. Take y'all time.
Yeah,
Do what you
take your
gotta do.
time.
Outside of that, anything else that we might have missed from today?
Not that I am aware of.
Yeah, me neither. I think I'm good. Yeah, we've been hearing some stuff about Deadlock, but we got to get some codes for that test. I see them numbers jumping up on Steam, man. Hey, let us into that Deadlock beta, gang. Yeah, everybody reporting on it. Let us in. We want to hear about it, gang. We want to hear about it. We'll figure it out, man. We'll figure it out. Outside of that, yeah, that's all we got for this show. Give us your closing notes for episode 101.
Hey, man. Same as always. Drink your water. Play the games you want to play. Mind your business. Keep it pushing.
That's right, man. All I want to say is remember what happened here today. You know what I'm saying? We trying to make a name for ourselves. So rate this podcast 5 stars in any way, shape, or form. Help support the pod. Help support us go through. We got more guests coming through again over the past couple of weeks. We had Jewel Hannibal. We had Struggle Gamers come through. We got a lot more guests in mind to try and get through. If you want to see somebody on the show that you think would be dope for the show, anybody either in the industry, a gaming creator, whatever, that wants to talk games, you know what I'm saying, that enjoys just shooting the shit and talking video games and talking about all the stuff in nerd culture, holla at us, let us know on any of our socials at No Cooldown Pod, No Cooldown, the community page on YouTube at No Cooldown. Anywhere that there are comments available, make sure you check us there, support us, show us some love. Thank you all for just following through. We got a whole other 99 more episodes to go, or 98 after this one. But you know what I'm saying? We got a lot more to go, damn it. And we are going to keep shit pushing. But that is all we have for today. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Mwah! This has been No Cooldown episode 101, and we are out of there.